Brought to you by Next Version You. The story, the day he stopped running for most of his life, he mistook movement for progress. He ran through the hours, building, chasing, achieving, always convinced that speed meant success. But somewhere between one meeting and the next, something inside him began to fray. He had everything that looked like a good life: income, influence, recognition. And yet, when he woke in the mornings, there was a hollowness that success couldn't fill. He'd built a world that kept him busy but not alive. Then one morning, he did something unthinkable. He stopped. No phone, no calendar, no noise, just silence. He called it his one-day sabbatical. He sat with a notebook and a question that had been haunting him for years, but that he'd never dared to write down. If everything I'm chasing suddenly disappeared, would I still know who I am? The pen hovered. He thought about the long hours he'd traded for approval, the deals that cost him dinners with family, the exhaustion he'd dressed up as purpose. And in that quiet room, he realized the truth. He'd been running toward other people's definitions of success. He wrote another question: what do I really want? Then another: what would my life look like if I stopped working for income and started living for impact? 4 questions later, his world cracked open. They weren't complicated questions. They were simple ones he'd avoided because he already knew the answers. No, and they terrified him. That day, he made a promise: no more trading peace for progress. No more saying yes to everything out of fear of being left behind. He started rebuilding his life from the inside out. He changed how he worked, who he surrounded himself with, and what he measured as success. The strange thing was, the more he slowed down, the more life opened up. Opportunities came from unexpected places. A new venture grew not from hustle, but from alignment, from doing what mattered instead of what impressed. He earned more, but cared less about the money. He served others, and in doing so, found the purpose that had always been missing. The man who once believed that standing still was failure learned that stillness was his greatest leverage. Sometimes he tells others about that day, the day he sat alone and asked the questions that changed his life. Most smile politely, not realizing that reflection can be the most radical act of all, because the truth is simple. You can't find new answers until you're brave enough to ask better questions. And sometimes all it takes is one quiet day to rewrite an entire life.